off today to go and get these turrets next changed over to the new Karoo street. There's not been a lot of reviews online yet because they've only just come out, so I thought maybe I'll put together a little video, give you some first impressions, and hopefully over the next few days I'll take them out, get them scrubbed in quite a bit, and do a little bit of dirt track and stuff like that, just to give you a general opinion. I really like the Torrance Next for road riding when I'm touring and stuff, and I like the Karoo 3 when I'm off-road. So I'm hoping this would be the perfect mix of touring tyre. Nearly at our destination, on our way to Barnstormer and Alton. I quite often use these guys, spend a bit of time doing trips out with them. They've always looked after me very well. Good service, crowd in there, always up for a bit of banter as well, so no problems giving my money. Just say a few things about these Torrance Next really. I mean, as a 90-10 tyre, they've been faultless really. I mean, I really want to try these things because obviously I like to go off-road, and I just think these ones might be a little bit workable, being a 70-30 favourite rather than a 50-50 of a Karoo 3. A 70-30 just might be a little bit more useful, but just see what we've got to sacrifice to achieve that really. So it's a bit of an experiment. As I said, I've not seen a lot out there yet about them, so I thought I'd sort of put my own head on the block and try them. If they don't work out for what I think or hope they are, then I should go back to these Torrance Next very happily. I've had a few of these. I mean, the front tyre is starting to sort of wear, with a couple of slopes to the sides now and a weird barb to some of the grip. I suppose quite a bit of heavy cornering and stuff, but you know, that front's been on there now for 11,000, nearly 12,000 miles. It's done a couple of trips around Europe and sort of used quite a lot. I mean, I have been commuting since February quite heavily on this bike as well, since I've moved home, and I've been on the motorways quite a lot, pretty much every day with it, doing sort of 20-30 mile sort of trip on the motorway. So I have actually started to square off the back tyre a little bit, and this back tyre has probably been on for about 7,000 or 8,000 miles, because it was the second one, because I actually had a puncture, so it's not done too bad. So we're going to find somewhere to park and then we'll see what it's all about. Can't really see that from there. That sort of sticks up quite a bit. And the back tyre's a little bit squared, but nicely sort of used around the edges. I think the mudslinger's going to have to come off and be trimmed though. Hello. Yeah, good, you? See you in a sec. Alright. I'll see you in a bit. Yeah. Let me know how your trip went. They look good. They look good. Good stuff, eh? No, I'm here for a while anyway. Hello, mate. How's it going? Time for new tyres. New tyres fitted. My mudslinger didn't fit with the depth of the tread, which is no problem. I'm going to trim that down to make it fit anyway. There's loads of room down there, so I'll trim it to make it fit. So it's really the side protection I like from the splash on the back of the leg, so I'll play with that. I think as an adventure bike tyre they look a lot better, and the 70-30 split should be more suited to proper adventure bike riding really. And we shall see. So let's see how we get on with first ride. I'm going to scrub them in a bit. Straight away coming and less than a couple of miles down the road, there is definitely a noise difference. I mean, definitely hear a bit more noise. Similar sort of volume to what you get off the Anarchy 3, but so far not that same sort of pitch, which for me, I found the noise of Anarchy 3 down to the compound versus the profile and that. I just found the sound from an Anarchy 3 is just a horrible sound for me. It just sort of drones on my ears a little bit, whereas this sort of sounds a little bit more like the Karoo 3 sort of sound, a bit more knobblier, but not quite as intense as the Karoo 3. So I sort of find that happy medium. You know, you've got to sacrifice something for that little bit more usability off-road. Noticing the roll of the tyre at the moment, the shape of it, but I must admit I sort of had a bit of a V shape starting to form on my front on the Torrance next anyway, so I'm bound to sort of notice a new tyre shape, but so far it seems to roll nice. Not going to give them anything yet, just got a nice evening for it. I'll gradually build them up, warm them up a bit, scrub them in a bit, and I'm about 20 miles to home. I might take a bit of a detour. I'll get to there and I'm quite happy then to sort of start really pushing the tyre after about 20 miles. We'll just see how it goes. So far about 15 miles in, just got a bit of fuel. The noise, you know, it is quite akin to the Karoo 3 if you've ever ridden them. Not quite as loud as the Karoo 3. The feedback from the road so far, sort of like just sort of throwing around a few little twisties and that, sort of gradually building it down. The grip feels fine on this Tarmac. Nice warm weather and everything else. I mean, new tyres. So taking all that into account, I mean, so far comparatively to other tyres that I've sort of ridden at this sort of miles, this sort of conditions, it's good. It feels very much like a road tyre on that way. There is that little bit of feedback through the wheel that you almost get with a Karoo 3, where you can feel the chunkiness of it. Not as much. It sort of, so far, says it's pretty much what it says on the tin. You know, it's sort of that sort of mid between the Torrance next and the Karoo 3, as in initial feelings. I think I'm going to pull over and put my earplugs in, which I sometimes use on motorways and long distance, and I'm touring anyway. I don't sort of tend to use my nip out. I wear a shoe breath helmet, it's reasonably quiet anyway. But I think I'm going to pull over and put them in and just see if it just takes that little bit out, just so that I get more feedback from the bike and the sound I like to get from the bike, rather than mixing it with the tyre sound as well, and just see how much difference that makes as a first impression of it. So I can just sort of take the noise element out of it, if you like. But I'll do that in a second and then report back with any differences I find. Earplugs in. Straight away, obviously everything's a little bit more quieter, but I can still hear the sound. Definitely a noisier tyre than Torrance next, to be expected. Once again, not as noisy as the Karoo 3, but noise akin to it. But it's bearable. I think it's one I'm going to have to get used to, because I still think the concept and idea of these tyres is sort of what an adventure bike's really needing. That sort of ride anywhere tyre around Europe, say for instance, giving you that option to turn left or right if you find something nice to turn on. I'm going to try and be very objective about it. You know, at the end of the day, I've sort of laid the money out on them. Sort of at this point, I'm not too worried if I don't like them. And I'm willing to sort of take that on the chin, just for the sake of curiosity, really. But only negative so far has been the fact that they are a bit noisy. Shame I wasn't filming that. Another nice little test done there. Some total dick just pull across. So, bit of handful of front. No problem traction to that, even on a new tyre. Unbelievable. Unfortunately, it wasn't recording. but tick that one off anyway. So yeah, report back. Not a bad bit of traction for a handful on, I don't know, 20, 25 miles on them so far. And I'm still here. Some good stuff. A few more miles under the belt. Absolutely no insecurity in grips so far. I think I started sort of playing around a little bit more, a little bit harder into some corners, laying it down a little bit further. Just give it a few days before I start really pushing it. But so far, absolutely no problem with grip whatsoever. I've not felt any insecurity about grip at all. If you are looking at riding a GS like this, but you're only going to go riding on tarmac, and that's all you're going to do, and straight away I'd say stick with the Taurus next, because they're faultless. Great tyre. All the new Bridgestones A41s, is it, I think? I mean, I'm getting massively good reports about them. People saying they're a great tyre. I think BMW are even on about putting those on as a standard for the GS. For the GSA, personally, I think they should look at a tyre more like this, that's sort of like aimed at the market that the GSA is supposed to be built for. Although, you know, we know that the GSA, not many people that use the GSA actually do everything that BMW is built one for, or have even skimmed and touched the capability of these bikes. I mean, I tend to do quite a bit of off-roading, often wells with these things, and you know, on a set of Karoo 3s, pretty much, I mean, I've not really met nothing that they've not been able to deal with. I mean, obviously not compared to what I'd like to do on an enduro bike or a motocross bike. When I off-road on those, yeah, you sort of attack it differently. It's a different kind of off-roading. But I've always been very surprised with what I have been able to convince one of these things to do. Even at my skill level, which compares to a lot of the guys that I ride with up there, is limited, you know. I've seen some guys do some phenomenal things with these things. My aim with these is really just to be able to sort of hit the odd green lane or find the odd gravel path or fire road if I'm going through the Alps or even through the British countryside down here. Down in the South Downs, we're quite lucky, we've got quite a few green lanes and stuff down here. And I should get hopefully by the weekend I'll get this up, do a few of those in video and sort of add that to the video, or maybe do another couple of episodes, or whichever way, see how much footage we put together. But I've got to say, first impressions, yeah, I'm liking them. You know, I'm getting used to the shape on them now. That's feeling better. I've had to take the mud slinger off that I had on the back because they wouldn't fit. So a bit of a trim down. So basically I'm going to trim this off and shape it up, which I was planning on doing anyway, because I thought it was too tight, a bit too close even with the Torrens necks that was on there. They certainly look the part. I mean, it's nice and chunky. Last part of the test, a little bit of off-road. This is quite a nice sort of gravelly bit, quite sort of dippy and bumpy here and there, not too rutty. Sort of done about a quarter of a mile along it already. So far these tyres are doing really well. I've got to say, grip feels fantastic. Chucking it about to this sort of lane especially, this has been ace. Just to summarise on these tyres, after a couple of weeks of having on there now, and probably about 1,000 miles so far, just under. Of the grip on Tarmac is incredible. It literally has, I mean, no time at all. You sort of right off the edges on them. No worries at all with that. Only negative has been that noise. That comes at about 55 mile an hour to about 70. It's not as bad as like an Anarchy 3 sound. But if I was purely on road, then I would probably go stay with Torrance next, just to negate that one negative. Does the capability on off-road balance that out? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've ridden this track on Torrance Next, which are a 90/10 tyre, and these have made a hell of a difference. The grip has been, I mean, this is quite dry and dusty, but even if this was a bit wet and puddly, I'd have no problems with it. It's very confidence inspiring. All round, I think they are probably the perfect adventure tyre, I think. I mean, I don't think anything's perfect, but I think these are pretty close to what you'd need for this sort of bike. I mean, I can imagine go around Europe and finding nice little tracks up in the mountains like this, and I'd very happily approach most of them. Grip in the wet, to be honest with you, when I was riding on Tarmac and it started raining, didn't really feel much of an insecurity difference. So far so good. I think the last little test to do really on these is just longevity. I mean, with the compound being quite a road compound like the Torrance Next, I'm sort of hoping that you're going to get some good mileage out of them, but we'll see. But so far, I've got to admit, I mean, very, very impressed with them. I went into this very objectively, thinking, you know, I'll write off the cost of them and buy some Torrance Next again, or tried the new Bridgestones. But I'd happily take these anywhere really. I think as a dual sport bike, if you're going to use any of these dual sport bikes, you know, KTM or the Triumph or the BMW, if you're going to use any of them as they were built, could be the ideal match. So give them a try yourselves. Hopefully what I've done with this video has been a little bit informative. You know, I'm by no means an expert, but hopefully you'll get some idea of whether you want to try them for yourselves or not. But in my opinion, yeah, they're good. They're definitely worth it. I mean, rain, the grip has been very, very good. Tarmac riding, grip's been outstanding. Off-road, felt total confidence on that little dry track. If that was wet, I wouldn't be no worries. You know, I'd be quite happily have sort of paced along it a bit. I mean, there's quite a lot of people on that track. I couldn't really sort of play up as much as I wanted to on it, but it was enough to give me the idea of how the grip would feel compared to what I do when I ride like a Karoo 3 or something. And to be honest with you, it didn't really feel any less grip than a Karoo 3. It felt as confident, really. Once again, a bit more time on it will tell, but for what I feel I'm going to use them for, yeah, I think they're a bit of a hit. So just see how they go from here. And maybe do a little update once I've done some mileage on as to whether I'd get another set, but so far I think I would for definite. Yeah, massive big thumbs up from me. Rainy weather, the grip's been fine as well, but the grip has been, yeah, outstanding. So if you like the info, you think it's been alright, hit a like button. Also hit the subscribe. I've got a little trip coming up to Scotland soon, so I'll do some footage from that and see how we get on up there, so we can find some nice little tracks for them as well. But I hope it's been helpful. Thanks very much for watching.